Many years ago, in a tiny hamlet nestled in the land of Verdania, there dwelt a humble potter named Karim Shah. Each day, he toiled diligently, crafting exquisite vessels from clay. At dusk, he loaded them onto his mule and journeyed to the town to sell them. Despite his tireless efforts, his existence was fraught with hardships. Yet, he remained truthful and devoted to his craft. Near the hamlet lay a thick woodland, home to a ferocious tiger that posed a grave threat to the residents. This beast frequently attacked villagers and their livestock. The locals made numerous attempts to trap the tiger, but it always eluded them. Over time, fear gripped the people, and they ceased venturing out after dark. Karim Shah, however, continued his daily tasks undeterred. He would gather clay, knead it, and shape pots, drying them under the sun and firing them in a furnace. This was his routine. One evening, after an exhausting day, he returned from the town. Typically, he secured his mule in the barn, but that day, overcome by fatigue, he tethered it to a tree in his courtyard and retired to bed. Meanwhile, a fierce tempest swept through the forest, with winds so strong they uprooted mighty trees. Lightning blazed, and thunder reverberated. The tiger, startled while prowling, sought refuge and found an old, deserted shack near the hamlet, where it curled up and slept. Deep into the night, the sound of torrential rain roused Karim Shah. Suddenly, he recalled his mule left outside. Concerned for its safety, he hurried out, only to find the mule gone with just a snapped rope on the ground. Alarmed, Karim thought his mule must have broken free to seek shelter. Determined, he set out to find it despite the downpour. After an hour, he reached the forsaken shack. When lightning illuminated the scene, he spotted a large creature slumbering by the entrance. Mistaking it for his mule, he exclaimed with joy, "I've found you, you wayward beast. I've been searching for you in this storm for an hour." But it was no mule, it was the fearsome tiger. In the darkness, Karim couldn't discern the truth. Frustrated, he struck the tiger's head and back 24 times, then leapt onto its back, gripping the rope tightly. He bellowed, "How dare you flee? Try this again and I'll feed you poisoned hay." Terrified, the tiger thought, "If I defy him, he'll surely end me." Trembling, it obeyed. Karim tethered it to a tree in his yard and went to sleep. At dawn, as villagers emerged, they were stunned to see the ferocious tiger bound to a tree outside Karim's home. Someone cried, "It's the tiger that's plagued us for so long." The news spread rapidly, and all hailed Karim Shah's courage, overjoyed as the tiger had claimed many of their animals. Perplexed, Karim said, "I did nothing remarkable, I only brought my mule home." Upon closer inspection, he realized it was no mule but the tiger. Meanwhile, King Zafar Khan of Verdania was anxious. The neighboring realm of Turkestan, a mighty power, sought to seize his territory. Though his troops were valiant, the enemy's numbers were vast. The king needed a bold leader to secure victory. In a council, his advisor, Nur Ali, rose and said, "Your Majesty, we need not look far. Here in our kingdom is Karim Shah, the potter who subdued a fierce tiger with his bare hands. Who better to lead our forces?" Impressed, the king summoned Karim to the palace. When Karim learned he was to command the army, he was stunned, thinking, "This must be a jest. I'm merely a potter." But he had no choice and went to the palace. The king greeted him warmly, instructing him to assume command the next day. Karim, bewildered, thought, "How did I, a potter, become a commander? All because of that foolish mule, or rather, that tiger." At home, he chided the tiger, "This is your fault. If you'd stayed a mule, I'd still be shaping pots. Now I'm a commander, ignorant of warfare." His wife smiled and said, "Don't curse the tiger. This is your destiny. Give thanks to fate." Karim realized he had to embrace his new role. The next day, Commander Karim Shah arrived at the palace with his wife. King Zafar Khan, delighted, entrusted him with the army's leadership. Though still uncertain, Karim had no option but to accept. Facing the assembled troops, he recalled his wife's words, "Trust in fate's guidance." Steeling himself, he projected confidence. Karim's unconventional tactics and clear thinking set him apart. Soon, word came that King Balred's army was advancing. Knowing he couldn't win by force alone, Karim devised a cunning strategy. He ordered his men to gather all the mules, horses, and oxen from nearby villages. At night, he fastened lit torches to their backs and sent them toward the enemy camp. From afar, the flickering lights resembled a vast army charging in the dark. The enemy, thinking thousands were attacking, fled in panic, abandoning their arms and supplies. To sow further confusion, Karim loudly declared to his officers, "Our warriors tame tigers for sport. No foe can withstand us." A spy from King Balred's camp overheard and relayed this, terrifying the enemy troops, who believed Karim's forces were mightier than tigers. When King Balraj learned Verdania had a new commander who tamed a savage tiger barehanded, he grew anxious, thinking, "If this man can subdue a tiger, he must be a formidable warrior." Fearing defeat, he opted for peace talks. An accord was soon struck, halting the war. King Zafar Khan, elated, proclaimed a grand festival and bestowed upon Karim gold, estates, and a high court rank. Karim's life transformed utterly. From a struggling potter, he became a revered and affluent commander, yet he remained modest and thankful for his blessings. One day, in his splendid new home, his wife smiled and said, "See, what seems a curse can turn into a gift. Without that tiger, would we be here?" Karim laughed, replying, "You're right. Who'd have thought mistaking a tiger for a mule would make me a commander? Life's twists are strange, and what seems a setback can lead to great fortune." Karim Shah, a modest potter, never dreamed a mix-up with a tiger would elevate him to a celebrated commander. His tale shows that bravery, ingenuity, and self-belief can surmount any obstacle. Rather than dreading change, we should welcome it, as it may guide us to heights beyond our dreams. True triumph lies not only in riches or rank, but in humility, gratitude, and seizing every opportunity.